Welcome to KC Wearable Technologies. This is the first of a 13-part video series in which we discuss and focus on individual products. The product we'd like to concentrate on today is the heating system. Now, we've gone a long journey with these heating systems. We researched in the very beginning the most efficient and cost-effective type. We by far came to the conclusion that the carbon-based system we found was the best in terms of all. So basically we designed a 3-patch system here, which is mostly used by customers. This is a larger panel for the back where the body contact is best. That warms the body, and then there's 2 small ones for the side pockets to warm the fingers. Now, with extreme cold events becoming more and more frequent in places like Canada, New York, and many others, we think that electrical additional heating support will be more and more common, not only in overcoats, but also in lighter garments. So there's a couple of examples. For example, here we have an overcoat from Ralph Lauren. They chose to put the control button on the inside pocket. There's 3 settings. Basically, red means maximum, medium, and low. So the stitched in carbon threads in the heating patches, they obtain a temperature of 60 degrees on maximum. So that is significant enough to make a noticeable difference in the garment. On the other hand, it cuts off at 60 to prevent any type of overheating. So there's different designs. Calvin Klein decided to put the control button on the sleeve, for example. All control buttons are with the logo of the customer and illuminated so that it also looks nice. Then there's other variations that we do. For example, here you see a slightly larger control button. The reason for that really is that there's a Bluetooth interface in the button. That means you pair the garment with your smartphone. And once you do that, basically it's possible to regulate the temperature with timers or without timers on the garment. You can preheat your garment while you're having breakfast, and here you see the control button color changing color with the settings of the smartphone. So there's lots of variations like that. We don't really totally recommend the pairing, but a lot of people do want it. Here we have a special development for Xenia, for example. They wanted an unlined garment, so this was going to be visible to the consumer. The felt had to be more soft. The whole thing had to be laid out like this. Instead of cables, we used a ribbon. Instead of our button, we used a sensor button, which we developed specially for them. So these are things that just go to show that we do special developments in cooperation with customers. Another one here is, for example, a new type of heating system for a glove. The idea here is to use a smaller power bank. You know that in normal heated gloves, that's the main problem, is this huge clunky battery that has to be integrated. So we're looking to use a smaller one. And the way we're going to do that is by only heating the fingertips. So the limited surface area of heating allows us to use a smaller battery. These are the kinds of things that we then engage with. So there's a number of things to do before and after when integrating such a heating system. We find customers have not had a hard time with this at all. Here's one example where a floating piece of body lining was used, and the large heating patch was attached to it here. So it would just float, and then of course over that comes the lining. There's a limited number of loops for cable guidance, and here it goes into the side pockets. So that's, let's say, a rational way of doing this. There's a more sophisticated way of doing this, which some customers preferred. Let me show you this. For example, we recommend that customers use a mesh window. So here's the body lining, and here's, in contrast to that, a mesh window where the large heating patch is attached to. That's of course optimally because the heat travels through the mesh much more quickly. Some people also color contrasted to the mesh to the body lining in order to accentuate it more. So there's different varieties. Then there's one thing, if the heating system is part of the garment in a way that it cannot be removed, in most countries the garment becomes an electrical instrument. So it has to be certified, safety tested. So that was a stumbling block for us in the beginning because customers didn't know how to do that. We now have a really extensive experience in doing that. We get the sample from a customer, we send it to an institute in China that we work with. They do all material safety tests. They do all the CE, FCC, different types of tests. They basically issue then their certificate for the customer. Here's an example of a 28-page test report where a removable belt was certified. So this is the other way. You can have it permanently in the garment, or for recycling reasons or other reasons, you can design it in a way that it's removable. In that case, only the belt is certified. But we have numerous examples for both. Then there's a ROHS, which means harmful substance testing. Every single element of the control button and everything else is tested, and it's certified that there's no harmful substances. So in terms of technical support, in terms of certifications, basically what we've done is any stumbling block on the integration of wearable technologies, we had to remove, just in our own interest, so that it would be implemented. So these are some very brief details on the heating system. Please do contact us for more information. For now, I thank you for your attention.